Hey there. Welcome to our channel. We're so glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe to join us for awesome content. Also share this video with your family and friends. Let's get started. As you settle deeper into the quiet, allow your mind to drift. Imagine for a moment that the vast, open sky above you begins to change. Not with the swift drama of a summer storm, but with a profound, almost imperceptible transformation. It is as if the very air itself is taking on a new texture, a softness that was not there before. This is the silent arrival of the ash cloud, born from a deep, ancient breath of our planet. Think of the earth not just as solid ground beneath your feet, but as a living, breathing entity. Sometimes, its breaths are gentle breezes, sometimes roaring gales, and sometimes, very rarely, it lets out a deep, slow sigh from its core, a sigh so immense it touches the very heavens. This is what has happened. A supervolcano, a gentle giant that has slumbered for ages, has exhaled. And now its breath, in the form of billions upon billions of tiny, ethereal particles, begins its journey across your sky. Feel the air around you, not with your skin, but with your imagination. It is no longer sharply clear, but softened, diffused. The sunlight, which usually streams down in crisp, defined rays, now filters through a vast, celestial veil. Each particle of ash, smaller than a grain of sand, yet countless in number, acts as a tiny prism, catching and scattering the light. They are like microscopic dancers, suspended in the upper atmosphere, twirling and shimmering, each one playing its part in this grand, silent ballet. As these particles ascend, carried by powerful currents of air, they spread wide, reaching heights where commercial airplanes once traced their paths. Higher and higher they climb, until they kiss the edges of space itself. From this lofty vantage point, they begin to paint the atmosphere. Sunsets, once vibrant oranges and fiery reds, now take on a haunting, ethereal quality. Imagine hues of deep violet, soft lavender, and dusty rose bleeding across the horizon, as if the world itself is dreaming in pastels. This twilight palette extends beyond the golden hour, lingering, embracing the entire day in its muted, introspective glow. Now shift your focus to the gentle descent. These particles, having danced in the upper reaches of the sky, begin their slow, graceful drift earthward. It is not a violent shower, but a quiet, almost hesitant fall. Think of the softest snowflakes in a winter's hush, or the gentle settling of pollen on a calm spring day. This ash is finer than flour, lighter than dust motes caught in a sunbeam. It settles with an exquisite gentleness, covering everything in its path. Imagine it falling softly on the leaves of trees, transforming their bright green into a subtle, dusty sage. See it settling on the roofs of houses, quieting the vibrant reds and blues with a uniform, pale gray. It blankets the roads, absorbing the sharp glint of the sun, making surfaces appear softer, more yielding. This new layer, though thin, is pervasive. It touches every surface, every nook, every hidden crevice, bringing a quiet uniformity to the landscape. There is a profound silence that accompanies this settling. The world beneath this new blanket feels hushed, muted. Sounds seem to be absorbed, muffled by the pervasive softness. The distant hum of traffic, the sharp call of a bird, even the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze, all seem to be heard through a new, gentle filter. It's as if the world has taken a deep, collective breath and then exhaled slowly, quietly, into a state of profound peace. This quiet is not empty. It is full of the subtle energy of transformation, a deep, pervasive calm. As the ash continues its slow, ceaseless descent, day turns to night, and night yields to the softened light of dawn, yet the quiet persists. You might find a fine, almost invisible layer on your windowsill, a testament to the earth's quiet exhalation. Touch it with your fingertip, and feel its powdery softness. It holds no heat, no sharp edge, only the delicate coolness of ancient rock ground to an ethereal fineness. This new blanket of ash is more than just dust. It is a geological record, a whisper from the deep past and a marker of a new beginning. It reflects the sun's altered light, transforming the very quality of day. Your familiar world, though still recognizable, has donned a new cloak, a pale, soft shroud that speaks of profound shifts, of the planet's vast, patient cycles. This quiet descent, this settling, is the first tangible sign of a world in transformation. It is the beginning of a long, slow change, a gradual cooling that will, for a time, redefine how the sun's gentle warmth finds its way to you. As the quiet settles deeper around you, and the fine ash continues its soft descent, imagine the very quality of light beginning to change. The sun, that familiar, golden orb, which has always been a constant in your sky, now feels different. Its embrace, once warm and direct, has become a whisper, a gentle caress through a vast, ethereal veil. It is as if the light itself is traveling through a dream. This is not the sharp, glaring brightness of a summer noon, nor the gentle, diffused glow of an overcast day. This is something entirely new, born of the Earth's profound breath. The countless particles of ash, suspended high above, form a grand, translucent canopy. They do not block the sun entirely, no. Instead, they refract its powerful rays, bending and scattering the light in 1,000 different directions before it finally reaches your world. Think of it like looking through a very fine, shimmering curtain, woven from stardust and ancient rock. The sun is still there, a constant beacon, but its direct intensity is softened, muted. Its vibrant, life-giving warmth, which usually kisses your skin with such familiar reassurance, now feels distant, almost a memory. Yet, in its place, a new kind of light emerges, a faint, silver luminescence that bathes everything in a soft, almost otherworldly glow. Imagine stepping outside and feeling this transformed light upon your face. There is no sharp shadow, no blinding glare. Instead, shadows are soft and indistinct, blending gently into their surroundings. Colors appear more subdued, as if painted with watercolors, losing their sharp edges and vibrant intensity. The world takes on a monochromatic beauty, painted in shades of silver, gray, and muted blues. This is the sun's light, reimagined, a testament to its enduring presence, even through the deepest veils. And with this softened light comes a subtle, yet profound, shift in the air itself. You might not notice it all at once, but gradually, incrementally, a coolness begins to settle. It's not the biting cold of winter, nor the brisk chill of an autumn morning. It's a gentle, pervasive coolness, a deep embrace that seems to seep into the very fabric of the atmosphere. The warmth that was once held so readily by the land and the oceans now escapes, absorbed and reflected back by the vast ash cloud above. Consider the surface of the earth, usually absorbing the sun's energy, warming like a vast, dark stone in the direct light. Now, with the sun's rays diffused and scattered, less of that energy reaches the ground. It's like pulling a thin, elegant blanket over the planet. The sun still shines, but its direct warming power is diminished. Slowly, patiently, the earth begins to exhale its accumulated heat into the vastness of space, unreplenished by the direct, golden touch. This cool embrace deepens with each passing moment, each quiet hour. You might notice the air feeling crisper, even indoors. The glass of your window might feel cooler to the touch. This is the planet's thermostat being subtly adjusted, not by human hand, but by the grand, geological forces that shape our world. This shift is not abrupt. It is a gradual rhythmic change, like the slow turning of a vast, unseen dial. Even the plants and trees, rooted in the earth, feel this alteration in light and warmth. Their daily rhythm, so attuned to the sun's direct energy, begins to adapt. Photosynthesis, the miraculous process that turns sunlight into life, finds a way forward in this altered reality, though perhaps at a gentler pace. The life around you, both visible and unseen, is a testament to resilience, finding new ways to unfurl and thrive in this silvered world. As you breathe deeply, feel the cooler air fill your lungs. It is clean, pure, carrying the essence of the softened sky. This change in light and temperature is a profound reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, how a single, powerful exhalation from the earth can ripple outwards, touching the very quality of our days and nights. This transformation of light, this subtle cooling, is merely the beginning. It is a preface to an even deeper shift, a longer, slower descent into a different kind of planetary rhythm. And as the silver light whispers its new story, you may wonder, how deeply will this gentle chill permeate the very core of our world? As the faint, silver light filters through the ash-veiled sky, a deeper transformation begins to unfold. It is a change not just in how the world appears, but in how it feels. A gentle, pervasive coolness, subtle at first, begins to settle over the continents, cradling them in a delicate hush. This is the earth breathing slower, its grand, ancient rhythms adjusting to the muted touch of the sun. Imagine the planet as a vast, warm body, accustomed to bathing in the direct, energizing rays of the sun. Now, with the high-flying ash cloud acting as a cosmic parasol, less and less of that vital solar warmth reaches the surface. It's a bit like wrapping the entire globe in a sheer, protective gauze. The warmth that the land and the oceans have absorbed over countless years now slowly radiates back into space, unreplenished at its usual rate. Feel this gradual change in your own imaginary space. The air you breathe seems to carry a different quality, crisper, perhaps, with an invigorating coolness that was not present before. This isn't the sharp bite of winter, nor the sudden chill of an autumn night. Instead, it is a steady, almost imperceptible softening of the atmosphere, a gentle downward drift in temperature that stretches across days, then weeks, then months. Think of it as the planet slowly drawing a deep, cool breath. The vast oceans, those immense reservoirs of heat, begin to surrender their warmth to the cooler air above them. Their surface temperatures, usually maintained by direct sunlight, start to dip, ever so slightly, with each passing day. And as the oceans cool, they, in turn, cool the air masses that pass over them, carrying this gentle chill inland, across mountains and valleys, into every corner of the world. This slow chill brings a quiet adjustment to everything. The morning dew might linger a little longer on the grass. The evening air might carry a more noticeable coolness, inviting you to draw a blanket closer. Even the very ground beneath you seems to subtly adapt, its surface gradually yielding to this altered rhythm. The warmth stored within the Earth's crust, insulated by rock and soil, slowly begins its outward journey, meeting the cooler air at the surface. For the vast ice sheets and glaciers at the poles, this shift is a profound blessing. With less direct sunlight warming the planet and a general cooling of the atmosphere, the slow, relentless melt that has characterized recent times begins to lessen, perhaps even to pause. Imagine ancient ice, which has steadily retreated for decades, now finding a moment of quiet reprieve, its vast, gleaming surfaces reflecting the muted silver light. Consider the intricate dance of seasons. While they still progress, their character is softened, their extremes lessened. Summers may be less intensely warm, winters perhaps more consistently cool. The sharp distinctions blur, replaced by a more uniform, meditative climate. It's a world caught in a gentle, prolonged twilight, where the edges of time and temperature feel softer, less defined. This quiet descent into a softened climate is the Earth finding a new equilibrium, a temporary state of balance in the wake of its immense exhalation. It's a reminder of the planet's vast capacity for self-regulation, its ability to respond and adapt to even the most profound geological events. This isn't a sudden, dramatic plunge into an ice age, but a gentle, almost meditative settling into a cooler, more reflective state. As you absorb this idea, feel yourself invited to slow your own breath, to find warmth within. Perhaps you pull your blanket a little closer, finding comfort in the gentle coolness of the air around you. This is the Earth teaching us patience, demonstrating how profound change can unfold with exquisite slowness, influencing every aspect of our world, from the deepest oceans to the highest clouds. And in this quieter, cooler world, where the very breath of the planet has shifted, what becomes of the life that has always relied on the sun's direct energy? particularly those who unfurl their green flags to greet the light, as the gentle chill permeates the air, and the silvery light continues its journey through the ash veil. Turn your attention now to the living world around you. The vibrant green that once dominated the landscapes, the lushness of forests and fields, takes on a softer, more muted tone. It is as if nature's grand tapestry, usually painted in bold, bright strokes, has been subtly softened, its colors rendered in gentle pastels. Imagine a vast, ancient forest. The broad leaves of the trees, once thirstily soaking up direct sunlight, now adjust to the shaded light. Photosynthesis, that miraculous process by which plants transform light into life-giving energy, doesn't cease. No. Instead, it finds a new rhythm, a gentler pace. Some leaves might grow slightly larger, stretching to capture every available photon. Others might adjust their angle, angling towards the muted light as if in a slow, silent dance. This is the quiet ingenuity of life, adapting to its changing world. Feel the subtle shift beneath the canopy. The air here, within the embrace of the trees, feels different. It might be a touch cooler, perhaps a little more still. The usual symphony of chirps and rustles might be quieter, as the creatures of the forest also adjust their routines. Yet, life persists, finds a way. Small ferns unfurl their delicate fronds in the dappled light. Mosses spread their emerald carpets across damp logs, thriving in the cool, diffused atmosphere. Consider the intricate web of life that flourishes in this adjusted environment. Insects, whose lives are so often tied to the warmth of the sun, may become more active during the parts of the day when the silver light is strongest. Birds might change their foraging patterns, seeking out new food sources that are more abundant in the cooler, softer conditions. Every creature, from the smallest beetle scurrying across the forest floor to the deer grazing in a silent meadow, is part of this grand adaptation. Think of the seeds lying dormant in the soil, patiently waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Some might delay their emergence, sensing the cooler temperatures and muted light. Others, however, might be perfectly suited to this new reality, finding their moment to burst forth with renewed vigor. This is nature's vast experiment, played out across continents, a testament to the immense diversity and resilience encoded within every living thing. Even the soil itself, the dark, rich foundation of all plant life, begins to adapt. With the ash settling, it might become subtly richer, introducing new minerals and changing its composition over time. The networks of fungi and bacteria, hidden beneath the surface, continue their vital work, breaking down organic matter, nourishing the roots of plants in this evolving ecosystem. Life below ground is as active, as adaptable as the life above. Listen closely, not with your ears, but with your imagination. Loving this? Hit that subscribe button to keep up with our videos. Also share this video with your family and friends. Can you hear the quiet whispers of resilience carried on the altered winds? It is the rustle of leaves that have found a new way to breathe. It is the soft scurry of creatures moving through a familiar yet transformed landscape. It is the patient growth of tiny shoots reaching for the softened light. These are not sounds of struggle, but of quiet determination, of life unfolding in a new, contemplative rhythm. This muted world, draped in its softened colors, is not a world diminished, but a world reimagined. It is a testament to the profound interconnectedness of all things. How a breath from deep within the earth can reshape the very quality of sunlight, which in turn orchestrates the intricate dance of life on the surface. And as you drift deeper, contemplating these whispers of adaptation, consider how the grand, flowing waters of our world, the vast rivers and oceans, absorb and reflect these changes in their own profound way. As the whispers in the canopy fade into the gentle hum of adaptation, let your thoughts drift towards the vast, flowing waters of our world. The rivers that carve paths through the land, the serene lakes that hold the sky in their liquid embrace, and the immense, deep oceans that girdle our planet, all now reflect the transformed heavens in a new, profound way. Imagine a calm river, its surface usually shimmering with the direct, golden light of the sun. Now, under the silvered sky, its waters take on a deeper, more reflective quality. The light that reaches it is diffused, softened, lending the river a meditative sheen, like liquid mercury. Each ripple, each gentle swirl, reflects the muted blues and grays of the ash-veiled atmosphere, turning the river into a long, winding mirror of the new sky. This is not merely a visual change. The waters, vast and deep, absorb the subtle shifts in temperature that are slowly permeating the air. Think of the surface of a great lake, usually warmed by the sun's direct energy. With less intense sunlight reaching it, the lake's surface cools, gradually, imperceptibly at first. This cooler surface water, denser than the layers beneath, might gently sink, creating new, slow currents within the lake's depths, carrying whispers of change throughout its body. Consider the mighty oceans, the greatest thermal batteries on our planet. Their vastness means they retain heat for an incredibly long time, but even they begin to respond to the pervasive coolness. The surface layers, constantly interacting with the atmosphere, start to chill. This cooling can influence the great ocean currents, those unseen rivers within the sea that distribute warmth and nutrients around the globe. They might adjust their pathways, their speeds, carrying the subtle message of a cooler planet to distant shores. Feel, in your mind's eye, the ancient rhythm of the tides. Even with the changes in light and temperature, the moon's timeless pull remains constant, drawing the oceans back and forth in their eternal dance. This rhythm, a comforting constant, reminds us that even in profound transformation, there are deep, unwavering forces at play, anchoring our world. The waves still crest and fall, the shoreline breathes in and out, but the light that glints off their surfaces is softer, more ethereal. Marine life, too, feels these shifts. The creatures of the deep, accustomed to the constant conditions of their environment, may be less affected. But closer to the surface, where light and temperature fluctuate more, fish might adjust their depths, seeking out preferred temperatures. Tiny plankton, the microscopic foundation of the ocean's food web, which depend on sunlight for their growth, might adapt their cycles to the diffused light, continuing their vital, unseen work in the sunlit shallows. Even the very composition of the waters can subtly change over time. The fine ash, settling gently from the sky, eventually finds its way into lakes and rivers, and finally into the vast oceans. These particles introduce new minerals, new trace elements, quietly altering the chemistry of the water. It's a slow, ongoing process, a continuous dialogue between the atmosphere, the land, and the water, each element influencing the other in a grand, planetary exchange. This pervasive coolness, reflected in the waters, is a profound reminder of the Earth's delicate balance. It highlights how connected every system is, from the particles in the highest atmosphere to the deepest trenches of the ocean. The waters of the world, in their quiet adaptability, demonstrate a profound resilience, always finding their way, always flowing, always reflecting the changing face of the sky. And as these vast waters adjust to their new, gentle rhythm, you might begin to wonder, what of the human heart, and its own deep resilience in a world reborn? As the grand, flowing waters of the world find their new, gentle rhythm, and the earth continues its slow, pervasive cooling, turn your thoughts now to the human heart. In the quiet aftermath of the earth's deep exhalation, a profound strength, often unseen in the rush of daily life, begins to rise. It is like a gentle, persistent flame, flickering softly in the gathering cool, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. Imagine communities, large and small, responding to the subtle shifts in their world. The immediate hours of dramatic change have passed, leaving behind a new, quieter reality. Now, in this space, a different kind of energy emerges, one of ingenuity, collaboration, and shared warmth. You are part of this story, an inheritor of this deep well of human resilience. Consider how hands reach out to help, how voices rise to reassure. The common threads that bind us, often overshadowed by individual pursuits, become stronger, more visible. Neighbors share resources, knowledge, and comfort. Skills that once seemed ordinary, like growing food or crafting tools, take on new significance, becoming vital expressions of collective adaptability. This weaving together of lives, this deepening of connection, becomes a quiet force in a world redefined. Think of the simple acts that carry profound meaning. Sharing a warm meal, offering a helping hand, gathering by a fire that casts a comforting glow in the softer light. These moments become anchors, reminders that even when the external world shifts, the internal landscape of human connection remains. People learn to listen more closely, to observe with greater care, to innovate with a quiet determination. New ways of living emerge, shaped by necessity, but also by shared purpose and a deepening appreciation for life's simple joys. The very quality of light, softened by the ash veil, seems to encourage introspection, a turning inward to find inner resources. Without the sharp glare of a direct sun, tasks that once seemed urgent may slow their pace, allowing for more thoughtful approaches. Problem-solving becomes a communal effort, a quiet symphony of minds working together, each contributing a unique note to the harmony of adaptation. You might imagine new shelters being built, designed to capture what little warmth remains, or perhaps to insulate against the pervasive coolness. Ingenuity blossoms in unexpected ways, from developing more efficient ways to farm in diffused light to creating new forms of energy that are less reliant on the sun's direct power. This is not a struggle against nature, but a dance with it, a graceful adjustment to its new rhythm. This enduring story is a testament to adaptation, finding light in new ways. It is about the human capacity to transform challenges into opportunities for growth, to discover hidden strengths in times of quiet change. The world around you may have shifted, but the core of human spirit, its capacity for hope, its drive to connect, and its endless ingenuity, remains steadfast. As you absorb this profound resilience, consider that even as human hearts find new ways to thrive on this altered earth, the planet itself continues its own majestic, slow transformation. For as the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months, the vast veil of ash above begins its own quiet process of dissipation, slowly, imperceptibly, allowing for a gradual brightening of the sky. As human hearts find new ways to thrive and adapt on this altered earth, the planet itself continues its own majestic, slow transformation. The vast veil of ash, which has embraced the sky for weeks and months, now begins its own quiet process of dissipation. It is as if the atmosphere, having held its breath in a long, silent wonder, now gently exhales, slowly clearing its ethereal veil. Imagine looking up at the sky and noticing a subtle difference. The silvered light, while still present, feels a fraction brighter. The muted blues begin to deepen, ever so slightly, hints of a richer azure peeking through the translucent haze. This isn't a sudden dramatic clearing, like clouds after a storm. No, this is a patient unfolding, an almost imperceptible brightening that requires a quiet stillness of observation. Think of the countless particles of ash that have been suspended high above. Over vast stretches of time, gravity, that unseen artist, begins its slow, relentless work. Each tiny particle, no longer buoyed by the powerful currents that carried it aloft, starts its long, graceful journey downward. Some are washed from the sky by the gentle touch of rain. Others simply drift, hour by hour, day by day, settling back to the earth from whence they came. This slow descent of the ash is a testament to the Earth's self-cleansing mechanisms. The atmosphere, an incredibly dynamic and powerful system, slowly purges itself, returning to its familiar transparency. It's a bit like a vast, invisible filter, working patiently, diligently to restore balance. This patient unfolding speaks volumes of cosmic cycles, of the grand, predictable rhythms that govern our world, even in the face of profound events. As the veil thins, more of the sun's gentle touch is allowed to reach you once more. You might feel a subtle warmth on your skin that has been absent, a renewed sense of the sun's comforting presence. The light gains a little more definition, shadows begin to sharpen ever so faintly, and colors, though still soft, appear with a touch more clarity. It's like the world is gently waking from a long, meditative dream, slowly, softly, regaining its full sensory perception. Consider the interplay of air currents and weather patterns. These grand movements of the atmosphere play a crucial role in distributing and eventually settling the ash. High-altitude winds, those swift, unseen rivers of air, slowly carry the particles across vast distances, dispersing them thinly, allowing them to fall gently over larger areas. This constant movement ensures that the clearing process is widespread and gradual, rather than localized and abrupt. The very quality of the air you breathe shifts. It might feel lighter, fresher, as the concentration of fine particles diminishes. This sensation of a cleaner, more open sky contributes to a feeling of subtle renewal, a sense that the planet is taking a deep, profound breath after its long, silent exhalation. This return to clarity is a comforting reminder of the natural world's persistent drive towards equilibrium. This slow, patient process of the sky brightening is a gentle lesson in time, in the vast geological timescales that govern our planet. It reminds us that even the most profound changes eventually yield to the Earth's continuous dance of creation and recreation. And as the atmosphere slowly clears, allowing the sun's true essence to filter through once more, you may find yourself wondering about the return of colors, the subtle hues that begin to reclaim their place in this slowly reawakening world. As the atmosphere gently exhales its last wisps of ash, allowing more of the sun's true essence to filter through once more, a quiet miracle begins to unfold across the world. It is the patient, subtle return of color, a spectrum emerging from the muted tones that have held the landscape in their soft embrace. Imagine the world unfurling its forgotten hues, like a flower slowly opening its petals after a long, quiet sleep. Think back to the silvered light, the world painted in shades of gray, muted blues, and soft greens. Now, with each passing day, as the sky gains its clarity, a deeper, richer vibrancy begins to seep back into everything you see. The greens of the forests, once dusty sage, slowly reclaim their verdant richness, a testament to the renewed energy of the returning light. The blues of the sky, once ethereal and pale, deepen into a more familiar, comforting expanse. Feel the subtle return of warmth. It is not the sudden, intense heat of a summer's peak, but a gentle, pervasive sensation, like the first tentative rays of dawn after a long night. This warmth encourages life to stir with renewed vigor. Plants, which have patiently adapted to the diffused light, now respond to the clearer skies with a surge of growth. Their leaves seem to deepen in shade. Their flowers, perhaps once shy and muted, now burst forth with more vivid colors, eager to greet the clearer sun. Consider the landscape around you. The gentle slopes of distant mountains, once veiled in a uniform haze, begin to reveal their nuanced textures, the subtle variations in rock and soil that were obscured before. The earth itself, having breathed out its volcanic sigh, now seems to absorb the returning warmth with quiet gratitude, responding with a slow reawakening of its own inherent beauty. Even the waters, which have reflected the silvered sky for so long, begin to mirror a more vibrant palette. Lakes and rivers sparkle with a renewed clarity, catching the brightening sunlight and scattering it into 1,000 tiny diamonds. The oceans, vast and deep, reveal more of their true, profound blues and greens, reflecting a sky that is steadily regaining its brilliance. This is the world's quiet promise of regeneration, whispered across every landscape, shimmering on every surface. This reawakening of color is a powerful visual testament to the resilience of our planet. It shows how profoundly light influences life, from the smallest blade of grass to the grandest forest. It speaks of the Earth's endless cycle of change and renewal, of its ability to move through periods of quiet transformation and emerge, eventually, with a renewed sense of purpose and beauty. As the vibrant hues reclaim their place, your senses, too, begin to reawaken to their fullness. The subtle sense of blooming flowers, the earthy aroma of damp soil, the fresh crispness of the air, all seem more vivid, more present, in this world reborn. This gradual unfolding of color is a comforting reminder that even after the deepest planetary breaths, beauty will find a way to re-emerge, soft and subtle, then slowly, wonderfully, in full brilliance. And as the world's palette returns, you might begin to sense how the very landscapes themselves, shaped by this quiet transformation, have been subtly, beautifully reimagined. As the vibrant hues reclaim their place across the awakened world, and the subtle warmth of the returning sun permeates the air, turn your attention now to the very land beneath you. The earth itself, having breathed out its profound sigh and slowly cleansed its atmosphere, now continues its own deep geological dance. The landscapes you know, while familiar, have been subtly, beautifully reimagined, their contours shaped by the quiet hand of time and transformation. Imagine the fine ash that settled so gently upon everything. Over weeks, months, and even years, this ash, carried by wind and water, is redistributed across the surface. It fills in the subtle depressions, smooths over rough edges, and accumulates in low-lying areas, creating new layers, new foundations. Think of it as a vast natural sculptor, patiently, imperceptibly, remaking the surface of the planet. Consider the gentle slopes of distant hills. The ash, mixing with rain and the earth's own soil, forms a new, fertile layer. Over time, new vegetation might take root in this altered earth, anchoring the fresh deposits and changing the visual texture of the land. What was once a bare rocky outcrop might now be softened by a new growth of moss or hardy grasses. This is the earth painting with its own materials, creating new canvases for nature's quiet artistry. Rivers, which once flowed along well-worn paths, may find their beds subtly altered by the new deposits of ash. Over millennia, the flow of water can carve new channels, create new meanders, or even form new, shallow wetlands where none existed before. Lakes might expand or contract, their shorelines gently redefined by the settling sediments, reflecting a new kind of tranquility. This quiet reshaping of waterways is a testament to the continuous interaction between water, earth, and time. Even the grand, ancient mountains, seemingly immutable, are part of this slow geological ballet. While their massive forms remain, their surfaces are softened by the new dust, their crevices filled, their lower slopes subtly reshaped by erosion and deposition. New patterns of drainage might emerge, carving fresh gullies and small valleys, revealing the dynamic, ever-changing nature of even the most seemingly stable landforms. You rest upon a planet always in the process of becoming. The ground beneath your feet is not static. It is a living, breathing testament to endless change. Every grain of sand, every pebble, every rock holds within it a history of profound transformations, of the earth's deep breaths and slow exhales, of its patient remaking of itself. This quiet, artistic process continues, day after day, year after year, often unnoticed by the hurried eye, but ever present. This reimagining of landscapes is a profound reminder of the Earth's vastness and its endless capacity for renewal. It teaches us about the impermanence of even the most solid forms, and the beauty found in constant evolution. It's a gentle lesson that change, even on a planetary scale, is often a slow, artistic process, leading to new forms of beauty and new habitats for life. And as you drift deeper, cradled by the understanding of a planet always in flux, you might begin to contemplate the deeper, ancient wisdom held within the Earth's very core. As the landscapes around you have been subtly reimagined, and the vibrant colors have returned to a world reborn, allow your thoughts to drift deeper still. Imagine descending, not physically, but with your mind's quiet eye, towards the very core of our planet. Here, in the profound depths, lies the ancient heart of Earth, holding a wisdom that is patient, enduring, and infinitely profound. Think of the Earth's core not as a fiery, chaotic furnace, but as a vast, pulsating heart, its rhythms slow beyond human comprehension. This is where the story of the supervolcano truly begins, not in the dramatic exhalation, but in the slow, immense pressures building over eons. This deep wisdom speaks of time, not in days or years, but in geological epochs, where 1,000 centuries are but a fleeting moment. Each tremor that has ever rippled across the surface, each quiet sigh from a volcano, is a lesson. It is a whisper from the planet's internal dance, a subtle reminder of the immense forces that shape continents, raise mountains, and forge new land from the deep. These are not events to fear, but rather to understand as expressions of a living, breathing world, constantly in motion, constantly transforming itself. Consider the resilience held within the very fabric of the Earth. From the shifting tectonic plates, moving with an almost imperceptible grace, to the magma chambers deep below, slowly gathering their power over millennia. All speak of a system that endures. The Earth doesn't break. It shifts, it adjusts, it rebuilds. Its patience is boundless, its capacity for regeneration endless. This resilience is woven into the very rocks beneath your feet, into the air you breathe, into the water that flows. The story of the supervolcano, from its deep breath to the slow return of light and color, is but one chapter in the vast, unfolding narrative of our planet. It is a reminder that we are part of something immensely grand, a cosmic ballet of creation and recreation that has played out for billions of years and will continue for billions more. We are witnesses and participants in this enduring story. As you drift deeper, let the comforting rhythm of geological peace wash over you. Imagine the Earth's quiet hum, a deep, resonant vibration that underlies all existence. Feel its stability, its grounding presence beneath you. This is a peace born of immense scale, of processes that unfold with an unwavering slowness, a profound certainty. There is no rush, no urgency in the Earth's wisdom, only the steady pulse of being. Rest now, bathed in this understanding. Your world, in its deepest sense, is vibrant, alive, and eternally resilient. It moves at its own grand pace, a silent teacher of patience, adaptation, and profound interconnectedness. And as you fall deeper into sleep, know that you are cradled by the gentle wisdom of a planet always in the process of becoming, always breathing, always enduring. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.